What's good, everybody? Sensei Lewis here with another demonstration of some important self-defense techniques. Just wanted to give you a little demo of this weapon that you see right here. Very simple looking weapon. Now, this one is a more obvious one that people might figure out that it's a weapon, right? This is known as Yawara, right? Today's modern version would be like those Kubotan keychains, right? You seen those Kubotan keychains? That would be the modern version, but this is the original Kubotan. It could have this chrome blunt pegs on at the end that you see here, or it could look like this without it. It would just be a wooden looking object like that, right? You could also have a simple one looks like this. This one looks less obvious as a weapon, just looks like a simple wooden peg. But again, as you see, the ends protrude from your hands, and that could be used as a weapon here. If you wanted to improvise it, make it like an improvised version of it, something that as simple as a remote, TV remote, could be turned into one if you had to, right? Now, of course, you need to be aware of the sturdiness of the object. So as you strike the person with it, this may not be, it could do damage, but it could also break apart depending on how hard you're hitting, right? Another thing you can do is to improvise it is, here's a knife, right? Here's a knife, but say I didn't want to use the blade, I could also turn that into a type of Yawara as well, because the ends protrude. So I can just, instead of using the blade against the person, I can just turn this into the weapon just the same, right? Let me lower bottom here a little bit so you guys will be able to see. All right, so you see, I could still strike, right? You guys see that? It could still strike with those edges. I can still hit them, right? Hit them in those parts using the actual knife without using the blade against the person, all right? Now, what's good about this weapon is that it's legal because it's not considered a deadly weapon, especially if you have the less obvious, right? The less obvious form of it, right? It's not considered a deadly weapon, and therefore it's legal, right? As far as not being considered a deadly weapon, right? It's just a blunt object. You use it. Now, it depends on what you do with it, which might turn your situation into a illegal one. So always be aware of that in your self-defense. But as far as like just carrying it, and if you was to get stopped and they check it, it just looks like a wooden peg. They're like, what's this? Oh, it's just a wooden peg. Right? It's nothing. You're not walking around with an obvious deadly weapon. Now, in the hands of the practitioner, depending on what kind of damage you do to the person, that's another story. So always be aware of the level of your self-defense, right? This one, again, like I said, it still looks kind of weird, and people may not know exactly what it is, but of course, it could be looked upon as because of the chrome ends, the blunt little objects that it might say, well, that does look like it could be used as the weapon, right? But in any way, like I said, it could be the more obvious one, the less obvious, or some other objects that you can turn into it. Now, what's good about this weapon here is that it's small and versatile, and you basically, when you use it, you want to use it to enhance your strikes, right? You want to use it to enhance your strikes. So when you're striking targets, you can strike some of those areas, and it'll pinpoint more the pressure point areas of the area that you're striking, right? So if I'm having a conflict with a dude and I hit him in his neck, that is going to pinpoint the carotid artery, the neck muscles, or more, and it's going to cause, right? It's going to cause more damage. It's going to cause more damage if I hit you here, right? Fine. Strike him in his temple. We fight him. Boom. Hit him in his temple, right? Coming across on the jaw. You can use it to poke. Poking into here. I can come around and hit you in your ribs, right? And it'll stick right up in your floating rib area, right up in here, right? So, I can hit you in your sternum area, hitting your chest plate, bam, bang it hard, come up, right, into the throat. So it's a versatile weapon. If you want to be on your Shinobi style, right, it's concealable. You can hide it and conceal it if I need to, right? I can hide it and conceal it and then bring it into play in my combat. But basically, like I said, when you use it, you want to use it to enhance your strikes, make your strikes more damaging. So you want to aim for those soft pressure point areas. Hit them here, right? Right up into that soft shoulder area, right up in here. You can poke in there, catch him in the ribs, bump up on his jaw, right? Hit him across the jaw. Hit across the jaw, temple, right? Temple strike. If you want to get really nasty with it, of course, I could be fighting here, boom, right in the eye, right? Swing, aim for the eye. Of course, that's a lot of damage. But if it's that type of situation where you got to get like that, you got to get down and dirty, catch the dude right in his eye, boom, temple, right? Come around to the ears. That's going to hurt, especially if you have the more protruding ends like that. Hit him in his ear, stab, right? You could also come around and use it to pressure point. You press in on, press on the pressure points in those areas in the neck. So very versatile weapon, very effective. Like I said, you can use the less obvious style, but again, it's the same thing, right? It's the same. You're gonna use it the same way when I'm striking. Same areas. Eyes, pressure points. Catch them up in floating ribs area. Hitting the sternum. Press it in the pressure points, right? And again, if you come around, catch the person, and squeeze in on the pressure point like so. Squeezing in on the pressure point, you can do that as well. Very effective, right? Like I said, if you need to improvise, if you get the situation and you need a weapon to grab, your remote, your TV remote can be made into that weapon as well. And again, use it the same way. The parts that are sticking out is how you're going to strike. Bam, right? Okay. Like I said, it may not be as sturdy, so you got to be aware of it. You might hit a guy so hard that the whole remote might break apart. So you might just use it that one time, depending on what's going on with the situation. Like I said, if you have a knife and you don't want to use the blade, you can just use the handle of the blade. If it has if it's a retractable blade, you can use the handle of the blade, and that hurts just the same. I could be in there, bam, I hit you with that. So it's not just my fist, but now it's the extra hardness and weight of the handle behind it. Bust him up in his jaw. Right? Same thing. Come in, pressure points. Here, right? Hitting them in the chest. Temple, eyes, right? Temple, eyes. If you're in the combat, bam, bam, boom. Aim for his eye. Hit the temple. Hit the jaw. Hit this area in here, right? Hit in the neck area. Hit him in the throat. All right? So very effective and very simple. So any of those things, you can have the actual one or any simplified version or modified, improvised version of it that you need. All right? But again, it's something that, if you need to even up the odds, if you will, in your self-defense, you feel you need to do more damage to your opponent for whatever reason. Maybe the opponent is very aggressive. Maybe they look like they're bigger than you. Maybe they appear to be stronger. And you feel that you need something to give you a little bit more of an edge. These are things here that are, the knife, of course, is more questionable. But if you used it as the Kubotan or as the Yawara form, right? Or these here are less obvious, especially these two here, less obvious, that they can be turned into a weapon, an improvised weapon in your favor, and help you, give you a little bit more of an edge against your opponent. All right? So these are the various forms of the Yawara. And again, like I said, the modern day version of it would be what they call those Kubotan keychains, right? The keychain that comes with the little peg type thing. Some of the pegs have a point on them. Some of them are more blunt. They got different types of edges on them. Those are very effective. And the ones with the point, of course, they're going to pinpoint even more your, the pressure point areas. Another thing that you can do with the Kubotan or Kubotan weapon or the Yawara weapon too is striking bone structure. Hurts. You hit, you can pop, Pop, hear that? Right? So you pop somebody's bones. They're reaching out to grab. Pop, you pop those hand bones. You hit bone structure areas. Crack them in the forehead. Right? That hurts, man. That you hit somebody, especially with a more harder one. Pop that forehead. Oh, that hurts. That hurts. There's a lot of pain. Cracking those bone structures. You know, we got the sternum chest plate right there. You cracking that, right? Hitting bone structure areas. Hitting bone structure. I believe this here, I forgot what it is. Is that the clavicle? I think that's called. You hit that bone that goes across here, across the front, connecting your shoulders, shoulder to the rest of the body. Hitting that hurts. You know what I mean? So you want to use it to hit bone structure areas. Cracking the jaw with it, hitting the jaw. Right, hitting bone on that, ooh, very, very painful, very painful. So you can use it to hit the soft tissues for pressure points and things like that, right? It protrudes so you can catch it in the eyes, and you can also use it to hit bone structure, right? They reaching out to grab you, pop, you crack the hand. If they grab onto you and you want them to let go, you can take it and crack the hand bone, and it'll make them let go, or you can hold it and press hard. That pain, whether it's the wood or the metal or whatever, pressing against the bone and the nerves, oh man, that hurts like crazy. So it's a very simple looking weapon, but if you know what you're doing with it, can be very effective and very dangerous. All right. And these are some of the weapons that we teach our students here. We also have a video if you're interested. It's ninjutsu and the kubotan. I'm gonna change the title a bit because the kubotan is I guess is like a trademark of I forgot his last name, Sensei Kubota. So the name on Amazon they blocking the sale of it. So I got to change the title. So I'm gonna change it to just go to Shinobi Science, right? Go to Shinobi Science on Amazon, or look up Combat Mode Productions on Amazon, and I'm gonna repost my ninjutsu. I'll change it. I'm gonna change the ninjutsu and the Yawara, all right, or Yawara hand technique, something to that form. But you'll see if you go to Shinobi Science on Amazon or Combat Mode Productions, you'll see it. All right, just give me a chance to change the title on it, so that way it's not causing an issue with the Kubotan trademark or whatever. And I have a video where I have demonstration of those techniques. All right, so look for that. Let me see. I got a comment there. It says I have an aluminum Kubotan. Thanks for the those aluminum Kubotans are that's, like I said, that's the modern version of it. It's pretty good. A lot of them, depending on which kind you have, they also look less obvious that it's the weapon because it's attached to your keychain. You could always just say, hey, it's just the handle, it's just the handle to my keychain. I just use it to hold my keys or whatever the case. So, some of them are a little bit more obvious because they have a point on them, so it looks like it could be a weapon. Others are more, cylinder-like, and then they look less obvious, and it looks like it's just a handle for your keys. But as far as I know, of course, check your local laws to see. Most places I'm aware of, they're legal, right? And then again, like I said, if you want to be real stealthy with it and real Shinobi style with it, just get or make your own. Get a less obvious one, or just make one out of a simple peg like that, which is less obvious. All right. So appreciate you guys for watching. Don't forget, if you're a new subscriber, don't forget to subscribe. Take advantage of we got those t-shirts, right? We got our Shinobi Science t-shirts. All of that is in the description of the video. Again, if you appreciate the lessons that we're giving you, right? Go on ahead and support us. Make a donation, send your support, join our Patreon page. All of that is in the description of this video. All right. Appreciate you guys. And I hope that I gave you something, as I do always, that's useful to you in your martial arts training, in your self-defense skills. All right. Take care.